Howdy, and welcome back to the channel. You got Digital Asset Hutch here, bringing you all the know about the digital asset and US economy space. And as you guys can tell from today's title, we'll be covering that most recent Bitcoin drop, as well as could the US be getting left behind with some of this crypto regulation and innovation? So if you guys enjoyed today's content, go ahead and drop a like below and subscribe. That way you can stay up to date with all of my most recent videos. But let's go ahead and jump into today's video. We're going to go ahead and start off with that CBBI, because with a drop we do like to see how far that confidence goes. And as you can see, we are at a 16, which it didn't drop actually all that much that you would think. We have only gone down roughly about 2 to 3 from that recent high. But let's go ahead and jump over to CoinMarketCap, and as you can see here, we are at a nice 4%, with some of these other alts coming in at 4 and 2%. So we are having a rough 4 to 5% drop on all markets. And Bitcoin's kind of found that support right now at 22,300, with Ethereum finding it at 1,500, and Cardano around the 34-cent range, which we've seen it there before a couple of times. But now y'all are kind of wondering what led to this drop. Well, we did actually have some news regarding Silvergate come out this week, and what is going on with them is essentially a lot of the crypto exchanges like Coinbase, Galaxy Digital, Circle, Paxos. Some of these have decided they will stop accepting and initiating payments to Silvergate. And what does this mean exactly? Well, it's just heightening the concerns about the liquidity and risk of crypto. So now that these concerns are starting to spike up, they are starting to think an FTX related event could happen, another black swan. I personally don't think that it's going to go that far. I think that this is part of a healthy correction. We needed it. The market was screaming for it to happen at some point. And I think this news is kind of just the trigger for it. It got some of those bears getting confidence again that they can tug the market in a certain way. And if you notice that we are actually separating from the traditional finance in a way, because we are actually now at a beta coefficient of minus 1 point or minus 0.15, which means essentially that they aren't reacting the same, and they're not moving in the same way as they used to do. So not only did we have a massive amount of not only did we have that massive decline from that Silvergate news, once the price started falling, you could actually notice that the liquidations started heightening. So if you guys remember that CoinGlass website I did show you a while back, you've actually noticed that recently we've started flipping our liquidations. Actually, since about halfway through February, you can start to notice that the long positions have been getting liquidated more than the shorts. So it's just kind of instilling that confidence back in the bears that, oh, they do have some power. They can pull the market down. I mean, they did what? Let's go. They went ahead and pulled the market down, I want to say 5%. Yeah, 5%, roughly $1,400 in the span of an hour. So, as you can see, this is the hourly chart, and that is quite the wick for just 1 hour. So yes, it dropped $1,400 in 1 hour. So that would definitely give them some confidence, as you could see. And what does this have us going into, which I think is important? You guys can notice that we are getting a nice head and shoulders formula coming in. So let me go ahead and draw you that neckline. So the neckline would be coming in around right here. And if you guys notice, we do have what appears to be a possible head and shoulders. pattern. So I did highlight one of these earlier in the month. Now, it didn't play out because it was actually only on this smaller range. And then if you guys remember right here, I was talking about if we do see a further correction down to that 25 level, we could end up seeing the head and shoulders playing out. Well, it actually looks like instead the markets just wanted to go ahead and decide, oh, we hear your head and shoulders pattern. Let's actually go ahead and upscale it. So as you guys can see here, we do have the shoulder and the head right here. So if we do have Bitcoin break up again, if we don't break that 24,000 range, I would be very cautious because this head and shoulders pattern does have a price target that could potentially take us down all the way to 18.8. You could also draw the head and shoulders on the incline, since it does look like we are using that support right there, and if it does actually get taken from the incline, it could possibly only take us down to 19.5. So those are some of those lower ranges that I'm looking at, as well as the just CME gap I've been preaching to y'all about for I don't know how long now. So those would be those those 3-4 price areas I'd be looking at. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shift gears from the TA a bit and pull up why I think we could be getting left in the dust as the United States in crypto innovation. Because as you can see here, Gary Gensler is running his mouth again, as he usually does. He seems like he's had crypto in his mouth ever since that nice pump at the beginning of the year. And as you can see here, I wouldn't call this necessarily an attack, because this is very true. Your crypto exchange is not your safe custodian. You are the safe custodian. Get yourself a ledger. They are not a qualified custodian by any means, even though some of them have advertised themselves as such. And I do completely agree with him. I agree that they aren't the qualified custodians. Now, I find it odd that it's taken him this long to actually say that. After the FTX, after Celsius, after Three Arrows, I'm surprised he didn't go out and state that back then. I'm surprised we didn't see any legislator come across pushing for these exchanges to have some sort of custodial laws. But I just find it weird that the timing of this is happening right now, where they're bringing up they're bringing up statements that would have probably made sense back in the past. And you can see possibly why, because what just happened is Cynthia Lumens did say she is going to update her Bitcoin bill. Now, I did go and attend Consensus 2022 last year, when I actually did get to see her speak in regards to this bill. And she did say it was mainly about CBDCs and the safe custodian of Bitcoin, and they're just trying to see what group could be the regulatory body of it. Now, this was in April of last year when I did go and actually attend the event, I believe. And then they mentioned that the bill would be out by the first quarter of this year. So, as you can expect, nothing ever gets done on time in the House or in the Senate. But it chalks up this bigger question to ask of, do we really think it's coming next month? Because I wanted to present the question of, do you think we're getting left in the dust? Because as you can see here, we already have another bank becoming the first bank to integrate the Bitcoin Lightning Network. So you see countries having Bitcoin on their treasury. You see some adopting in as legal tender. You see now that we have a bank using the technology of the Lightning Network. And we're still here arguing over whether this technology is for criminals to money launder. So I do want to show those levels for y'all just by how we're arguing over stuff that has happened last year towards the middle of this crypto crash to a bill that was supposed to be released at the start of this year to now banks outside of the US are using the Lightning Network. So this is possibly one of the reasons why I think you need to pay attention to the regulation that they're putting forth. Because one, I think it could be just a power grab for them to put it in a way they could use this technology to control you, make this technology look bad. But if that does happen, essentially that's just going to make these other countries who already want the legal fiat of the dollar to crumble, pick it up and grow it, innovate, use it as innovation, make the on-ramp to it a lot easier for people, essentially leaving us behind with technology. So if you guys do agree with those takes, go ahead and drop a like below. And that's all I have for y'all. Comment if you agree, or comment if you think the US will be the leading innovator. But that's all I have for y'all today. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.